this is a simple little project. It's to help a brother out who has a boat, and he's jackknifed, I think, one time and hit the back of a truck. Anybody who's really backed a trailer in at some point in time has run a risk of it if I hadn't actually jackknifed it. Now on my four-wheeler trailer, a little short four-wheeler trailer, I put some little white posts on, a little guide posts in the back. They're not to guide like a boat onto the trailer. They're to guide so I can guide myself with a little short bugger so I can see it when I don't have the four-wheeler on there. So we sort of have the same thing with boats. You know, they make little guidepost kits that fit. They're usually $100 or so. So what this project is we're going to make some guidepost and a lamp. Now the post itself is just a piece of 2-inch PVC. Now this is a side marker light. It is designed to be seen 360 degrees so that you can view it at an angle, you know, like that on the side of a truck or trailer or what have you. So it's where you can see it 365. Now when this is back down the boat ramp, we ought to be able to see enough of the top. It ought to show up good even in the darkest of night. Come in from noodling. So base is just like this, just 2 holes, a little panel lamp. We're going to use a 2-inch coupling and a 2-inch end cap. Now this is a plug rather than an actual end cap. The reason we use this rather than an end cap is most end caps are round. And this will allow us to go in here, and this makes a little flat base for our light to sit on top of. A little unsuspecting wire left over. I happen to have some from previous jobs, some brown and some purple. Purple's a non-standard trailer color. We'll use that for the white for the ground, and brown is usually your tail light. So we'll set that aside. And this is not exactly rocket science. We simply set that in there. What do I do with my little pin? There it goes. We set our little light on top and make the first markings for the first 2 holes, and hopefully we got it centered on the top. And then we're going to use, this looks like it'll be a little off to one side, and then what we'll do is we use these little self-tapping screws. And so I've got a drill bit set up on the drill. Take that off. Okay, so going like this. Let me get my nut driver. Take my little screw. Find my first little hole. We're going to get them down like that. I'll take the lamp out of my way. Now, to balance it, I'm going to come on this side and set it a little bit. Drill another hole. Drill another hole. And we will actually need an additional little hole in about here. I drilled that one in at a slight angle. I've got to come back this way a little bit. Now, I'm going to have to open this up just a tad to make a clearance hole on 2 of these holes. And the other one, I'll open up as well. That's the one I got at an angle. Okay. Take the other 2 screws. Now we're going to loosen the ground screw up. Now we're going to take our unsuspecting length of wire. And we're going to make this hole, these two holes, just big enough for the wire to go through. It's too small. That'll do it. Now we take each end. Let me find the brown one here. I'm going to use the brown for hot, or the actual tail light circuit. Pull it through. Pull this out. Take our wire strippers. Now, I have a quick connect. This is a self-retaining quick connect. It just means it's like a fork, which is what it is, but it has some little ears on it so that it won't pull back off the ground or the screw that it's on, the terminal. Mash it on good. This will pull back. I will take the screw completely out. See, we got the ground wire in there. Can you see that? Okay. Now for this, for the hot wire, I'm going to pull a little bit spare around here, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim that off a little shorter. And I'm going to do the same thing on this end. And then I have this is called a rat tail, or hat, or end, what do you want to call it? Dead end splice. We're going to pull these two together. Do it like this. Crimp that puppy down. Pull that around like that. Put our bulb back in. Now I'm not going to glue any of this plastic together, because I want it to be able to be taken off if we don't like what we're doing. So go pull this through. Pull that to the edge of my can. Let me see if I can still keep this in frame. Now I just got to push all the way down. Well, we see how that goes, and see this slides right on the guidepost, a little plastic guidepost. We put our little top back on, and now we will just kind of hand weave this wire into a line, so that we're not going to wire tie or anything. So we'll do that. I'll do that off camera, and basically you now have your light. So this is about $3 worth of plastic, maybe $4 worth of a side light, and that's all there is to it. You can buy lights like this, but they cost more than $6, $7. and these actually have a glue so that when you heat these things up, it shrinks around the wire and makes a watertight seal. So we'll use 2 of those on each one of them as needed to splice in. And of course U-bolts at the bottom, because the boat's just narrow enough that the trailer's actually wider and they'll come up beside the boat like this. And we got ourselves a complete project. Now we have our 2 completed guidepost lights. Again, that's what they're going to look like. It's just a 2.5 inch side marker light that is wide angle, they call it. PC, I think they call it PC ready. Look inside, and you see we don't have any exposed screws or anything like that poking through. They're just sheet metal screws, self-tapping type pointy screws. Wires twisted together. It'll hang right on top of the 2 inch, 2.5, is it 2 inch? Yes, 2 inch white PVC that we're going to use for guideposts, and they will mount directly to the frame of the trailer in this particular case, because the boat's not super wide and the trailer is plenty wide so that the guideposts will stick out far enough to left and right so you'll be able to see them. So there you go. Just about as economical of a guidepost light as you can find. And but it's too dark to pick it up. But I guess they got a good enough idea from it. I'll walk back here. They can see that you can see them. That's all that matters.